The basic archive type in Pi is a fixed archive type. The default archives that we create during installation are fixed. And we do recommend them for just about all normal operations. So what is a fixed archive? Well, it's something that has all of its disk space allocated at the creation time. So we actually will, create, if it's a 100 megabyte archive, we actually create a 100 megabyte file. We actually fill it with zeros. And so as it fills, it's not going to consume any more disk space. So that's a fixed archive. It's going to have these, as I said, the primaries, and then a certain amount of empty 1K records. They may or may not participate in the archive shifts depending on the point count. As I said, almost all the time, your point count is not going to grow so much that you can't shift into an archive, at least any of the standard archives built using our recommendations. But the fixed archives, they do have that attribute. They will generally participate in the archive shifts. Now, I only say that really in anticipation of describing our dynamic archives, which you'll notice do not participate in archive shifts. So the fixed archives are a basic unit that we use for archiving and should generally be used. Now, they can be created as I showed earlier, using the system management tools by choosing create a new archive file. But you can also do that by doing the DOS prompt or using DOS prompt utilities. So let me demonstrate. If I go down to the Start menu, choose Run, and then Command, from the command prompt, I can go ahead and change to the proper directory, and change directories to c:/pi/adm, and this is where I can do a pi arc create. Do pi arcrete, pi arc create, and then give the name of the file. This is going to be pi/dat, and I'll call this myarc2.dat. I already created a myarc1, and I'm sorry, I've forgotten a very important argument. The argument that I forgot to put in is the size in megabytes. So I would like to specify this to be a 128 megabyte archive. So let me just go ahead and retrieve what I did earlier, and I'm going to pass 128. That's going to be the size of the archive. And as you can see, the response we get is that this is an archive that is now prepared to be archived. Where is it? We say it is prepared to be registered, I should say. So we have not registered it yet. It's just prepared to be registered. So at that point, I can go ahead and use another DOS utility, piartool-ar, to register this. This is cpi.dat myarc2.dat. And now that should be registered. And in fact, if I go back into my system management tools, if I refresh the screen, we should see there it is. It's myarc2.dat. Let me sequence this. That is the highest empty archive, the target of the next shift. There it is, myarc2.dat. As you can see, I've created it and registered it. And the whole point of showing you that is, again, at some point you may need to write a little DOS script to create dozens of archives at a time. And that's just a simple way to do that using those DOS utilities.